What's up? What's up? What's up? YouTube, Facebook, and all these other social media outlets. It's your boy Uncle Fred back in the house again. I just can't get enough of this stuff. Go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe. Please become a part of the Uncle Fred experience. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. All right. Well, it's week 13 just went by. I want to go ahead and give y'all a little short video with my pick'em results. Your boy didn't do too bad. Your boy went 10-4. Not bad. Had 14 games this week. You had I think you had 4 teams that were off today. Cleveland, Tennessee, Carolina, and Green Bay were the 4 teams that was off. So you had 14 games. And but you know what, man? From the 12 o'clock games, the games that came on at 12, your boy was like 7-0. And I'm like, yeah. But then in the 3 o'clock games, I kind of like went like 2-3 or something like that. 2-4, I guess. That there were 6 games. 1-3, I guess. And then I won the night game and then the Monday night game. So I'll give you a rundown on all the scores and all of that, man. That's the only thing that's bittersweet is week 13. You know, they ain't got but 17 weeks. That means the season is vastly evaporating on us, man. It's like when the season start winding down, man, I start to get, I ain't gonna say depressed, but I get sort of like, man, it's over. I mean, you're in such a hurry, you're so enthusiastic about it coming in, and then as it start to wane, you're like, oh man, it's almost over. So yeah, we getting ready to go into week 14. So that's you got 17 weeks and you got about 3 weeks of the playoffs, and then you go to the Super Bowl. So all the football is winding down. The college football down to the Final Four, the CFP, College Football Playoff. It's the Alabama Crimson Tide, Roll Tide, number 1 seed, as they deserve to be. And you got number 2, the Michigan Wolverines, who I think could be a sleeper. You got number 3, the Georgia Bulldogs, who took that L last Saturday. And then, of course, you got the Cincinnati Bearcats, who are the upstart. They're the outer Power 5 conference winner. And are 12-0, and they're number 4. So on December 31st, it's going to be Alabama and Cincinnati at Jerry World, and then I believe in Miami, it's going to be Georgia and Michigan. So, but right now we're talking about the NFL. That's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the NFL. So this week started off with the Dallas Cowboys visited the New Orleans Saints. Cowboys prevailed 27-17. I already gave you my video on that. Next, you had Arizona and Chicago Bears. Ooh, that was a blustery game too, man. Winds all over the place. Arizona prevailed 30-17. 33-22, I'm sorry. You had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons. Even though a late before halftime, stupid pick 6 by Tom Brady. I don't know what he was thinking about that. Just run the ball and get the half over. No, he throws a pick 6 and got intercepted, cuts it to 3, 20-17, but the Falcons never score again. The Buccaneers win 30-17. Okay. Then you had the Los Angeles Chargers at the Cincinnati Bengals. Los Angeles Chargers win it 41-22. We'll talk about that game. It's a good game. Good game. One of the best games of the day. Then you got the Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit Lions and stop the presses, break up the lines. The Lions win 29-27. Late touchdown by Amon St. Brown. And we're going to talk a little bit about that game. And we're going to talk about some dedications of that what that game meant to some of the people in that area, in that Detroit area. We're going to talk about that game a little bit also. Then you got the Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. Colts win 31-0. Nothing need to be said about that. Total whitewash. I believe my man Jonathan Taylor had like 43 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Yeah. But yeah, we're not going to talk about that one. But yeah, a Colts win 31-0. All right. Then you got the New York Football Giants at the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, don't look now, but the Miami Dolphins have won 5 in a row now, 6-7. All right. Yeah. Tua Tagovailoa starting to play some good football right now. Once all that Deshaun Watson stuff got blowed over there, he can just concentrate. He know he the man. He's concentrating there. They got Jalen Waddle back. They playing some good football right now, and you might not want to see them going forward because I think they're gonna close the season out pretty good. Dolphins win 20-9. Then you got the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Football Jets, and the Eagles win it 33-18. We'll talk briefly about that one, about some flash in the past or whatever coming back in that game. We'll talk about that. Then we got the Washington football team at the Las Vegas Raiders. Washington football team wins at 17-15. Gee, that's funny because it seems like they beat Seattle's Seahawks last week, 17-15. And you'd be right. They did win 17-15 last week. First time a team has had that score in back-to-back games, I guess, in the 100-year history of the NFL. 17-15 in back-to-back games. Washington football team won 4 straight games. They are 6-6, only 2 games behind the Cowboys. They play the Cowboys this coming Sunday at FedEx Field. It's going to be a good one. Okay. Then you got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Los Angeles Rams. Jacksonville, what you doing? Rams win it 37-7. Okay. Then you got the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Steelers win 20-19. Missed that one. We won't talk about that. That was a good game. Good, hard-fought game. Controversial ending. We'll talk about that. Good game. We'll talk about that one. Then you had the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City wins it 22-9. We'll talk briefly about that one, and we'll try to figure out what the heck is wrong with Kansas City. They win it, but not the way we expect them to. So we'll talk a little bit about that game. Then then the granddaddy of them all. Well, we're going to talk about the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks. And the Seahawks surprisingly winning 30-23. Okay. Goal line stands somewhat, so to speak, at the end prevailed for Seattle to win that one. And then the granddaddy of them all, New England on Monday night, 14-10 over the Buffalo Bills. Got a lot to say about that game right there. So let's just go ahead and get this thing cracking, all right? So, first game we'll talk about. In the first game I watched a good bit of this, the Los Angeles Chargers at the Cincinnati Bengals. And, the Chargers visiting, it used to be called Riverfront Stadium. I don't know what it's something energy field now. I don't know what it's called, but but they were at Cincinnati. And I kind of thought Cincinnati might play well, but the Chargers came right in, and they go. I don't know if it's the first drive or not, but I know in the first quarter they go 9 plays, 55 yards, culminating with a 4-yard pass to Keenan Allen, touchdown. Hopkins misses the extra point. I don't know. So it's 6-0. So okay, no big deal. They come right back. Bengals don't move the ball. Chargers come right back. They go 4 plays, 14 yards, and kick a field goal. I think there might have been a turnover right there. That might have been the drive that Cincinnati sacked Joe Burrow. He hit his hand and he got knocked the ball out, and they go 14 yards for a field goal, and a 43-yard field goal, and that's 9-0. Okay, Cincinnati can't do nothing with the football. Chargers come right back. They go, they go 5 plays, 73 yards, touchdown. Keenan Allen again, 7-yard touchdown. That's 2 for Keenan Allen. And so now it's 16-0 Chargers, and the point after is good. And then right after that, Bengals don't do nothing. Chargers get the ball back. They go 3 plays, 58 yards, touchdown, 44 yards to Guyton, who big boyed. I think it might have been Jesse Bates, but he big boyed that corner in the end zone and capped it off a 44-yard touchdown. And then on the 2-point conversion. They flip it. The Keenan Allen turns right around, throws it to Justin Herbert in the end zone for a 2-point conversion, and he spikes it. And what? It's 24-0 Chargers at the Bengals. Fans is booing. It's 24-0 early in the second quarter. The Bengals like, look, man, it's still early, plenty of time left. They get their thing on track. Right after that, they go 6 plays, 83-yard touchdown. T. Higgins, 39-yard touchdown pass from Joe Burrow. And then McPherson, extra point, no good. What the heck is going on with these kickers not making their extra points? So now it's 24-6, okay? No big deal, all right? And, of course, right after that, Chargers, can't move the ball. They get the ball back. And Bengals go 3 plays, 14 yards, and kick a field goal, and that's 24-12. No, okay. All right. That's kind of a ball game. All right. So from that point, it's no. I'm actually wrong. It was actually a touchdown. They go 3 plays, 14 yards. That must have been one of those Austin Ekeler fumbles. They go 14 yards on 3 plays, touchdown. Joe Burrow scrambles up the middle for 6 yards and a touchdown, and they kick the extra point, and it's 24-13. Okay. Now, then they kick the field goal. I had it out of sequence. In the field goal, they go 5 plays, 32 yards, and kick a 48-yard field goal by McPherson. It's funny, he made a 48-yard field goal, but missed the extra point. The heck, just like what's the guy's name? Hopkins made a 43-yard field goal, but missed an extra point. I don't know what's going on. It's just like missing free throws and then hitting a 3-pointer. I don't get it. You can kick it or you can't. So now it's 24. It's 24 to 16, and then the first of 2 Austin Ekeler fumbles. Throws over the middle, catches it in the like a 12 yard pass over the middle. Gets tackled, fumbled, and so from that point, Joe Mixon goes off right guard 7 yards for a touchdown. It's 24-22, just like that. It was just 24-0, but and early like that, it's still early in the second quarter, plenty of game left to be played. Cincinnati just settled down, and they scored, tried a 2-point conversion right back to Mixon, got stuffed. It's 24-22. Austin Ekeler, another fumble. Okay, Cincinnati gets the ball back, and they're driving. And what could have been the go-ahead touchdown, but lo and behold, a little pitch out to Mixon, and he fumbles, and it gets picked up by what's the guy's name? Tony. What's his name? Tony Campbell returns it 61 yards for a touchdown. Just like that, that's a 14-point swing because if they score there, it's probably 29-24 or 30-24, but instead it goes to 31-22 Chargers. Okay, and then right after that, they can't move the ball. Chargers get the ball back. They go 4 play, 53-yard touchdown. Quisenberry reported as ineligible, but Austin Ekeler goes off left guard for a 1-yard touchdown, kind of redeeming itself for them 2 fumbles. And it's 38-22. Bengals kind of can't get nothing going. Joe Burrow throws an interception. And then finally, in the fourth quarter, the Chargers kick a late, like a field goal with about 3 minutes and something to go in the game. Makes it 41-22, and that pretty much Katie barred the door. But that game had so many ebbs and swings and highs and lows and ebbs and flows and stuff. The Chargers run out to a 24-0. The Bengals come back, a couple of fumbles, 2 by Austin Ekeler, 1 by Joe Burrow, 1 by Joe Mixon. Kind of, make the thing go back and forth. But in the end, the Chargers, they prevailed in a very entertaining game. It's kind of choppy, but a very entertaining game. Total yardage, the Cincinnati Bengals, 363 yards. The 356 yards, in the Los Angeles Chargers, 363 yards. Justin Herbert, 26 of 35, 317 and 3 touchdowns. Joe Burrow, 24 out of 40, 300 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So, that's what it is. But that was a very good game. Both teams fall to 7-5. So, just when you thought Cincinnati was just going to kind of maybe round the corner, it take an L, and just thought maybe the Chargers kind of because they lost to the Broncos and whatnot, and they come back, so now they're 7-5, and they're looking pretty good themselves. So we'll see what goes on with them. But anyway, that's that game. Chargers win 41-22. Then we got the Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit Lions. Okay, I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about that, but all I know is late in the game, the fourth quarter, the Lions had drove down to but Lions really need to thank their lucky stars they won this game, because their coach Dan Campbell went for a 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 on his own, like 26-yard line early in the game, and actually that led to the Minnesota Vikings' first touchdown. But they was able to battle back, and they were down 27-23. But Jared Goff goes. And I don't understand the coverage that the Minnesota Vikings were doing. It's almost like they had a zone coverage, but you kind of want to stay in front of the end zone, but they dropped too deep and let Amos St. Brown, I won't say St. John, it's St. Brown from USC, caught the 8-yard touchdown pass with 4 seconds left. They lifted the Lions over the Vikings for their first win. So, woo! Lions win their first game. They won it, and they tow up Detroit after that. Turning over cars, burning down stuff like they won the championship. No, I'm kidding. They ain't do all that. They ain't do all that. But they were really happy that they won that game. Be honest, man, the Lions have played well enough to have won probably 4 or 5 games this season. But they always seem to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory several times, but they was able to get this one. They should have swept Minnesota. Should have beat Minnesota both times. Should have beaten Pittsburgh. Should have beat Baltimore, and really should have beat the Bears on Thanksgiving. Some coaching snafus there that let the Bears run that clock out. So, but the Lions win that game. After the game, very touching tribute. That my man Dan Campbell been catching a lot of all season, especially even when he got the job, because all of the stuff, knock us down, we're gonna bite the kneecap on the way up, we're gonna take a chunk out your face, you knock us down again, we'll go bite the other, all that stuff, and he got ridiculed for that and stuff like that. But after the game, he wasn't beating his chest or anything like that, but what he did do was something I thought was very touching. And it's something that was very necessary to do. Let me tell you what this guy did. He dedicated the game ball to the victims of the Oxford. The Oxford is in Oakland County. That's why I said Oakland. But the Oxford high school shooting that happened last week. That's 15-year-old Ethan Crumley went in and shot several people, wounded 7. Killed 4, and those that were killed was Justin Schilling, 17, Hannah St. Julian, 14, Madison Baldwin, 17, and Tate Meyer, 16. And he dedicated this to the memory of those and those that were injured, teachers and all that were injured in that shooting. Very disturbing things that happened in our country, and something's got to be done about that. But then that's right there in the backyard of Michigan. And I think that's just very fitting that the Lions won that game because of that unspeakable tragedy that happened at that school in Oxford, Michigan, last week. So hats off to Dan Campbell for having his team stay ready, staying prepared to play, even though they was 0-10 or whatever, 0-10-1 or whatever they were, and dedicating that game ball to the victims and the survivors of that terrible tragedy. So hats off to the Detroit Lions. And I'm happy, really happy that y'all won that game and what y'all dedicated it to. So that's good stuff there, man. Good stuff. Sometimes this stuff is bigger than sports. You know what I mean? Sometimes it just is. But at the end of the day, it's just a game. All right. And real life always gonna come in first to a child's game. So hats off to Dan Campbell. Then we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Football Jets. Now, all I'm going to say is Jalen Hurts had hurt his ankle last week. We played the New York Football Giants, and lost. I think it was 13-7. So who did they start this week? None other than Minshew Mania or Minshew Magic, whatever you call him, dude with the Fu Manchu and all that. I like me some Minshew. I love me some Jalen now. Can't be taking on his way foolishness, but quarterback controversy. But Minshew did his thing. Minshew 20 or 25, 242, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Dallas Goedert, 6 catches, 105 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Again, the Eagles run for 180 some odd yards in this game. Let me pull that up because I think I had that pulled up earlier. But that's all I'm gonna talk about that game because it's the New York Jets. But yeah, Philadelphia Eagles ran for 185 yards, led by Miles Sanders, 120 yards on 24 carries. Kenneth Gainwell, 12 carries, 54 yards, a touchdown. And like I said, they ran for 185 yards, and they ran up 418 yards on the New York Jets. And I just want to mention it because Minshew Magic. That's really all I was going to mention about that because, he did his thing, his swashbuckling style. But remember, your backup quarterback. He's exciting. He's box office. He all that stuff. He's really Fitzpatrick. That's what he is. He's Fitzpatrick, But he's good, sells some tickets and good to kind of, fire a team up and all that kind of stuff. But, in a week or so, Jalen, get your job back, man. Go and get your job back and we'll go back to win. But the Eagles win that 33-18, and they're 6-7, and they're in third place in the NFC East, and they're only 2 games and a half behind the Cowboys. They've won 3 or 4. So having said that, we move on to the next game. We got the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm just going to get to the end because, it was basically a bunch of, rock 'em up, sock 'em up football. That's what those two teams do. They play what I call smash mouth football. 326 yards by the Steelers, by the Ravens, and 321 yards by the Steelers. Pretty much even, okay? But it came down, to the fourth quarter. It was 13-12 going to the fourth quarter. Would have been 13-13, but my man, the Steelers kicker, Boswell, mixed the extra point, or would have been 13-13 going to the fourth quarter. But it was 13-12 going to the fourth quarter. What else would it be in a Ravens-Steelers game, okay? But I tried to tell folks. Now, I know I picked the Ravens, but the Steelers got embarrassed last week. What was it, 41-17? You knew they was going to come back strong because that's a proud organization, proud head coach, proud quarterback, proud players. You knew they was going to come back strong. And so it came down to the fourth quarter, okay? Fourth quarter was 2 touchdown scores, 13-12 going to the fourth quarter. Then Steelers, score first. They go in midway through the fourth quarter. They go 11 plays, 18 yards, culminating on an 8-yard pass to Deontay Johnson, who had a great game. I think Deontay Johnson ended up with 8 catches, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And so that made it 18-13, and they kicked the extra point. No, they go for 2, and they hit my man Pat Freiermuth. Love me some Freiermuth. Big lumbering tight end that catches everything. He got them nimble feet, catches things, always gets his feet down, catches everything you throw in his direction. That dude got some hands on him. And they go for 2, and they get it. And now it's 20-13 with about a minute and 48 seconds left to go in the game. Right after the 2-minute warning, they did that. So 7-point lead. What you gonna do, Lamar? Lamar kind of had a subpar game. He's really kind of been a little off the last 2-3 games. Remember last week he threw 4 interceptions against Cleveland. And the week before that, remember against the Miami Dolphins, he threw 2 interceptions, threw for 100 and some odd yards and a couple of interceptions. he wasn't good, man. He's not been good in a while, But I have to give him his dap on this particular drive because they go with the 2-point convert within the 2-minute warning. I keep saying 2-point conversion. They go 8 plays, 65 yards. They had 1:52 left in the game, and they used 1:36 of the game. Leave 14 seconds left on that, 12 seconds, excuse me, when they scored. Sammy Watkins, the back of the end zone, I thought he dropped it, but I think he may have held it long enough. Touchdown, and we'll kick the extra point and we good. But no, because early in the game, Marlon Humphrey, the all-pro cornerback, the Baltimore Ravens already out of down Marcus Peters and some other guys. The Ravens got 17 guys on injured reserve, most than any team in the NFL. So John Harbaugh decides to go for 2. Win it right now, okay? And the reason he says is because, look, man, we ain't got no cornerbacks. We can't stop nobody. All about, the Steelers were just, but who knows? You might have got the ball first and scored, who knows? But he decided to go for 2 in the win, down 20-19. Play was set up. And I know a lot of the armchair quarterbacks were saying that was a stupid play. They shouldn't have went for 2. But I was like, I get why they went for 2, but I could also see why you would have kicked the extra point and just played for, and let's just see what happens. But they went for 2. They had the play set up, and it was a play for Mark Andrews out in the flat, and the Steelers overload the right side, and T.J. Watts gets pressure right off the snap, and they tried to blame Lamar, say he threw a bad pass, or they tried to blame Mark Andrews and said he'll catch this 7, 8 out of 10 times because he hit his hands and he just wasn't able to bring it in. But the reality of it, in my football analysis, I'm not saying I'm the best football analyst in the world, but I do know this. When that ball got snapped, T.J. Watt was on him like white on rice. And he was on top of Lamar Jackson before he knew what hit him. And that caused him to rush the throw and actually threw the throw off just by a touch. Just a skosh, as my man Steven mentioned. Just a skosh. And that was all they needed to throw the timing and the trajectory of the pass off just a little bit. And he didn't secure the catch. And so they stuck with a 20-19 deficit. So they kicked their onside kick, and they weren't able to recover it. And the Steelers won a tough, gritty, hard-fought win, 20-19. And that 1-point victory in a Steelers-Ravens game is pretty much what you're going to get, okay? When they play again in a couple of weeks or whatever in Baltimore, probably going to be the same thing. A good, gutty win for the Steelers, way to bounce back. They are 6-5-1, I believe. And, 6-5-1. Ravens fall to 8-4. They were flirting around with going at 9-3. They could have had the best record in the AFC, but they fall to 8-4, and they got some things to look at. Lamar Jackson didn't play well. They haven't played well the last month. He's got like 13 interceptions, and I think he's got maybe like 14, 15 touchdowns, like 13 interceptions. In the last like several games, he's got like 10 interceptions, like 8 touchdowns. So don't know what's going there with him there, but the Steelers win that game. They win it 20-19. Okay. Then we go to the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time with this one, but all I know is the Broncos need their butts kicked for not winning this game because they was going up and down the field. They ended up with 404 yards, but never could cash the thing in. And I thought the thing in this game that they did, because Kansas City was up on them 10-3 going into the halftime, and the Denver Broncos right before halftime went on a I got it right here. They went on a 20-play, 80-yard that started on their 3, ended on the 8. Okay. They went on a 20-play, 88-yard drive, took up 11 minutes on the clock, got down to the 8. They had ran it on 4th and 1 a couple times. They got the 4th and 1, at the 8-yard line, and they decided to go for it. Could have kicked the field goal. It'd been 10-6 now. You within 4. But they went for it, got stuffed. What's my man's name? Javonte Williams, who had a great game. Williams actually went 23 carries, 102 yards, but he got stopped short. Kansas City's been playing some dang good football on the defensive end last month or so. I think they've not given up but about 17 points a game is the high. Cowboys can score but 9, and that's the last game they played. They had a bye. They played the Cowboys, and they come back, and then really that was really the ball game because I think they kicked another field goal later. 2 field goals. No, they got a touchdown later and went for 2 and didn't get it. And the game was sealed in the 4th quarter when what's my man's name? Sorensen, much maligned safety for the Kansas City Chiefs. They were driving and they had gotten to about the 25-yard line, Kansas City 25, and then the pass got intercepted by David Sorensen. I think it's Dwight Sorensen. He rumbled 75 yards for a pick 6. The last 10 of them, he doing all that because that boy been catching it. Because every time you trying to get a pass completed, that's who you run at because he can't cover me. But he was good on that one. He picked that one up. And he enjoyed them last 15 yards. Now go on, boy, do your thing, and that sealed it. That made it 22-3. And like I said, they scored a late touchdown. Bridgewater passed to Javonte Williams, 13 yards, and then they missed a 2-point conversion. That made it 22-9, and that was the final score. Now, I'm going to give you some of the particulars. And when I say Patrick Mahomes ain't playing well, when he's played the Cowboys, he's 15 of 29 for like 184 yards, no touchdowns. This game, he was 15 of 29, 184 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. That's almost the same exact stats he had against the Cowboys. I think it was 15 or 30 maybe. He may have been 15 or 30. But he's just not good at it. But his interception was another tip pass by Tyreek Hill. Don't know what's going on with the connection between the two of them. And it's almost like the teams are playing that 2-deep shell, and the Chiefs are just not able to nickel and dime it down the field and get, I don't know what's going on there. And they're forcing them into turnovers, interceptions, and they're just not able to sustain drives. They're always looking for the big play. And when they don't get the big play, they're just not scoring a lot. But they are winning games now because their defense is starting to play championship level football. So they hold the Denver Broncos to 9, held the Cowboys to 9. And I think the week before that, they held the Raiders to 14 and the Giants to 17. So their defense, their last month has been very, very good. Something's going on with Pat. Don't know what it is, but if they still winning and somehow he wake up from his nap, y'all look the heck out. All right. Then the last game before we get to the end here is the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks. And I'm just going to say that game was kind of going one way. First quarter, the Seahawks kind of was about to punt, direct snap to Travis Homer. He goes 73 yards for a fake punt touchdown, and it's 7-0. And they caught the 49ers napping just a little bit, but they woke up and then they go. Garoppolo goes 24 yards to George Kittle. Welcome back, George Kittle, and it's 7-7. And then they go up the middle with Elijah Mitchell with a 2-yard touchdown, capping a 9-play, 54-yard drive, and it's 14-7. And then, the Seattle still can't get the ball moving. They've been having problems with their offense all year. And so Robbie Gould kicks a 50-yard field goal, capping a 9-play, 46-yard drive, and it's 17-7 49ers. I'm like, good, because I picked the 49ers to win this one. It's like I picked the Baltimore Ravens to win. And just like, I picked the there's another game in the evening that I picked that But I missed all the games in the evening. I missed all of them, except this one. Okay, I missed all of them except the Rams and the Jaguars. You know, we're gonna do with that, man. We're gonna do with that, man. So anyway, so it's 17. It was 17-7, and then Adrian Peterson, who just got signed by the Seahawks, scores a 1-yard touchdown, culminating a 9-play, 65-yard drive, and extra points good, 17-14. Garoppolo, short pass, short left, 48 yards, tiptoes down the sidelines. I remember that play. Touchdown, George Kittle. First time he had multiple touchdown games. I would have never thought that. But now it's 23-14. And so, but the extra points no good. What's going on with these kicks? All right, kick a 50-yard field goal, but you missed the extra point here. The heck? 23-14. And then Russell Wilson gets to work. He goes to Eskridge. I don't even know who Eskridge is, but he goes 7 yards for a touchdown, capping off an 8-play, 42-yard drive. Now it's 23-20. And then Garoppolo, you got to get rid of the football because they got the ball in their own, 3-yard line, and Garoppolo gets sacked in the end zone. Got to get rid of the football. And that ties the game up at 23-23. That means you got to kick it off from the 20. Then the Seahawks go 5 plays, 28 yards. And pass to Tyler Lockett, 12-yard touchdown, 29-23 extra points good, made it 30-23, and that was the final score. The 49ers make a valiant effort in the last seconds, get down to the 11-yard line, 4th down with about 4 seconds to go, and he go for a pass over the middle. It's knocked down by Carlos Dunlap, preserving the victory. The 49ers win it the Seahawks win it 30-23. I had the 49ers winning that game. One of them games I lost, but yeah, the games I lost. Here my sheet is. Here my little cheat sheet. Yeah, the games I lost. Minnesota, Detroit. What you gonna do with that? Nobody's picking Detroit. I missed the Washington football team and the Las Vegas Raiders. I thought the Raiders would win that one. That's a 3 o'clock game. I missed the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh. I thought Baltimore would win, but I'm not surprised Pittsburgh won. That was a 3 o'clock game. I missed. Also missed there was another game I missed. Yeah, in San Francisco at Seattle. So I missed 3 o'clock games. Washington at Las Vegas, Baltimore at Pittsburgh, and San Francisco at Seattle. I missed those 3, but I came back strong on the last 2 with Denver and Kansas City. And the last game we're going to talk about. New England 14, Buffalo 10. Oh, my goodness. This game has been the talk of a lot of football prognosticators today, all last night and today, because everybody was saying the New England Patriots, their record is fugazi. It's smoke and mirrors. They're not that good a team. They're not playing good teams. They're not beating nobody. They're lucky. Okay, whatever. And of course, all of this narrative, Tom Brady made Bill Belichick. I think that might have been the dumbest take I've ever heard somebody have. And I'm like, dumb take. Now I'm not gonna say. Now I ain't gonna go the other way and say, Bill Belichick made Brady. Ain't that stupid? Because what Brady's doing in Tampa Bay. He making winners out of Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of the losingest franchises in the NFL. So I think they made each other, and I think they culminated this thing together. And Bill needed a little time to put his thing together, and he got a team kind of just like the team he had in 2001. Good defense, good offensive line, some capable running back, strong defense, play good special team. Don't turn the football over. But what they did last night was dadgum near criminal. Let me tell you what they did. Let me set the stage for you. So first of all, the game was about 15 to 18 degrees, okay? Remember this Buffalo, New York. Winds swirling at 50 to 55 miles an hour. So this is what my man Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick at this game right now, we'll get into it. He decided in this game right here, the winds are swirling. I got a quarterback with not the strongest arm. We're going to run the football and play defense. Okay? We'll run the ball, play defense, play field position, and we're going to see where this thing going. I'm going to trust my defense. I'm going to trust my offensive line against the high-powered, Pro Bowl-laden Buffalo Bills in their building. Okay? I'll tell you what happens. Buffalo Bills is driving on the first or second drive of the game, maybe the second drive of the game. And I will say, Matt Breida did fumble the football, but he fumbled it on the New England 30-yard line. New England gets the ball, 3 plays. Damian Harris cuts right, left, goes up the middle, 62-yard touchdown. And to show you how much Bill Belichick ain't thinking about the King game, they go for 2. And they hit my man Bolden with a little misdirection, runs it off to the left side, left end, in the end zone. Before you know it, it's 8-0. Bills can't get nothing going. They're all over Josh Allen. Because if you know anything about the Buffalo Bills, they don't really run the football. Josh Allen really is a leading rusher. You know, he runs on scrambles and quarterback, sneaks and quarterback draws and things of that nature. Because he's 6'4" and 240. So, but if you can't run the football and you play in the New England Patriots, you got your hands full. Okay, so we go to this. We look at this game, and I got it right here. Right here. I thought I did. Did I not pull it up? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Yeah. Damian had, I cut him short, 64 yards. 64 yards up the middle, 6-0, 2-point conversion. Brian Bolden, 8-0. And then the first special teams mistake, N'Keal Harry on the punt. They had stopped Buffalo, and if they scored here, I'm thinking they finna run it down their throats. It would have been a blowout. But the ball bounces. He tries to get out of the way from it. Ball just grazes his face mask. I mean, it barely touched. I mean, but you could tell it kind of, it changed the trajectory of it. The Buffalo gets the ball on the 11-yard line. They go first play fake in the end zone to Davis, touchdown, and it's 8-6. And see, the thing about it is, the thing I like about Belichick is he looks at the conditions, he looks at the opponent, and he tailor makes his game plan based on those things. Okay, they don't go into it saying, "Oh, this is who we are. We're just gonna do what we do." No, we tailor make our game plan based on who the opponent is, their strengths and weaknesses, and the game conditions that we're playing in. Okay, that's Bill Belichick. They're the ultimate chameleon. Whatever the outside surrounding it, they mirror it and they kind of blend in. That's what they do. All right, so it's 8-7. Okay, and that's pretty much what it was all through the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, they try a 41-yard field goal. Like Bill tried a 41-yard field goal, capping off a 9-play, 52-yard drive, and that's 11-7. Okay, then Buffalo kicks a field goal. That's ain't gonna be no more touchdowns. I'm just letting y'all know right now. Buffalo culminating that 8-play, 31-yard drive. T-Bass kicks a 35-yard field goal. It's good. It's 11-10. Then in the fourth quarter, the Patriots go on 11-play, 59-yard, 8 minutes and 34-yard drive, just running it down their throats, running it. And I'm gonna tell you how they ran it. And they kick a field goal. It's 14-10. Buffalo has one last possession late in the game. They get down to like the 20-yard line, and it's fourth down with about, a minute and a half left, with no timeouts. And he tried to pass over the middle. He gets pressured, and the guy knocks the ball down, and that's ball game. They basically kneel on it, and even Belichick was smart enough to kind of work the clock, so they really didn't even have to get the ball back to it's something he did and allowed them not even have to get the ball back to Buffalo. And somehow they did something with the clock. They reset the play clock or something they did, and they didn't even have to give the Buffalo the ball. But let me tell you the extent of what Bill Belichick did. With the conditions being what they were, quarterback being a rookie, knowing that's a good pass defending team that the Buffalo Bills, even though Tre'Davious White didn't play, he said, I'm not going to put it in harm's way. I trust my defense. I trust my offensive line. The Patriots ran the ball 46 times. Threw it 3 times. I didn't stutter. You heard me correctly. The New England Patriots ran the ball 46 times at the Buffalo Bills for 222 yards, okay, and a touchdown. Threw the ball 3 times. Mac Jones was 2 of 3, 19 yards. A 12-yard pass to Jonnu Smith and a 7-yard pass to Ramondre Stevenson. Okay, Damian Harris, 11 carries, 110 yards, a touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson, he was 24 carries, 78 yards. Ran it down their throats. The thing, and there's a lot of things people talking about this, and I think this right here lets it prove to me and everybody that says, if you got any sense that Bill Belichick is the Don Dara. That's what he is. I don't like him because I think he's a AWS hole. I would like to play for him, whatever, but I know that guy gets results. He's the Don Dada of coaches, okay? You show me a team that can go against another team and throw it 3 times and run it down their throat. They know they're running it. And then people will say, oh, well, that's just so how weak the Buffalo Bills are. Say, oh, they got 10 guys like, yeah, but they're not running the same play, idiots. When they see him lining up, right, Mac Jones, well, we're running to the left. Run, pitch, come back to the left. Counter, go back to the right. Okay, counter, go up the middle. Okay, wherever you are, that's what they run. They run it the other way. If you run it to this, you overload the left side and the right side, they run it up the middle. That's just coaching. You go to where they're not. You run it where they are not. Okay? The teams won't commit to it. And see, that's the thing I'll be saying when I being a big Cowboy fan, the thing I wish that our coaches had the freedom to be able to implement a game plan like that without having Jerry Jones looking over their shoulder, putting his input, putting his 2 cents in it, having influence or whatever. Because I guarantee you, Robert Kraft would have been like, Bill, we really gonna throw it 3 times and run it 46 times? Yeah, let me do this. Get up there in that box and hobnob with the owner, the Wilsons, and the other people that that owns the Wilsons own the Buffalo. You hobnob with them. Let me handle this down here. Now I wish we had that same thing in Dallas. That where a coach could just put in this thing, go through look at the forecast, look at the opponent, study that thing up and down, left and right, and come up with a formula, because that's what they did. Now, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they played Buffalo, they ain't going to have that same game plan, okay, because they're going to be to make some adjustments. And Bill Belichick going to make his own adjustments, okay, all right? Patriots, 9-4, best record in the AFC, would nary a Pro Bowler on his squad, okay? Beat a team with a MVP candidate quarterback, a Pro Bowl wide receiver, basically 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers, because Stephon Diggs is a Pro Bowler. Cole Beasley could be a Pro Bowler, one of the best slot receivers in the NFL. You go into defense. Ebenezer is and I know I ain't saying his name right, but he a bad defensive linebacker, pass rusher. He's pretty good. Of course, they didn't have Tre'Davious White, but they got Micah Hyde, but they got some great players on that team. 4 or 5 Pro Bowlers. Maybe Matthew Judon might be a Pro Bowler on offense, but running backs not going to be no Pro Bowlers. Mac Jones not going to be no Pro Bowler. I guarantee none of them receivers going to be no Pro Bowlers. On defense, Hightower might be, and then maybe J.C. Jackson might be, because he got about 7 interceptions. But other than that, New England, dude, y'all better watch the heck out, because if Mac Jones ever kind of figure out how to, manipulate that thing, you ain't gonna be able to beat them boys, because they're always well coached, always in perfect position, always gonna do the thing you can't do, and when you playing them, you're gonna have to play them left-handed. Whatever you like to do, they taking that away from you. Okay, and that's how they play. Bill, don't care for you as an individual, but as the coach, that's the Don Dada right there. That's the Don Dada. That was a masterpiece he put on, a coaching masterpiece. Okay, that game plan ought to be put in canon. That he did that. That and then what he did against the greatest show on turf back in 2001. New England Patriots win 14-10. Like I said, they're 9-4, and they got a bye, and they go to Indianapolis next week after next. And that's going to be good because the Indianapolis coach like to run the football too. It's going to be a chess match right there. So we're going to see. But that's all I got for this week right here. All I can say is that, y'all just continue to like and subscribe to my channel. Ooh, I thought I was Brian Kelly there for a minute. Y'all YouTube that. Y'all Twitter that. Look that Twitter feed up. Brian Kelly, new head coach of the LSU Tigers. Spent all of his grew up in Boston and coached at Cincinnati and at Notre Dame. And is a Northerner true and true. Now, the same coach made a farewell speech to his Notre Dame Fighting Irish. He says, we're thankful for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and for all they've done for our family for the 12 years I've been. Thank you for y'all in our family. He goes to LSU at the LSU ball game. We're proud to be Tigers. We were proud to be here with my family. So that's why I did that little thing, because I'm like, that's the same dude. What is he doing? He got a southern drawl that quick. I'm Alabama too, so I got a little bit of a draw. Not like that dude. But that's all I got from the desk on Uncle Fred week 13. Come back with another video with my week 14 picks, and we're gonna see what goes on with that. And then that's all I got. We'll catch y'all on the other side. Y'all, God bless y'all. And y'all continue to like, comment, and subscribe to the Uncle Fred Experience. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. All I got. Y'all be good.